What's up, world? What's up, world? It's your boy Dez. Got Hook and got Ray here with us right now. And want to say what's up?
Yo, what's good? It's good.
This guy.
Good, we're here.
We're in the building.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Part 3 of our kind of Katt Williams / social commentary on
Just
gatekeeping
crazy
and
stuff going on lately.
Yeah.
things happening in the dark.
Man, I was telling that work.
In
man.
the dark, but like right in front of us, though, too. It's all in plain sight.
Right. And like I was telling that work, man. Damn. There's so much information. There's so much stuff that came out just in these past 2 weeks. We got. There's a lot of stuff to cover, and this year's just started.
Yeah, it's crazy because because we've been talking about the Katt shit lately, and the internet is just on fire right now with stuff, and it's just all kinds of shit that can relate back to it. And it's kind of a straight to business here. We're kind of skipping the cold open. I was just watching a video that had Dr. Umar, right?
Yeah.
And kind of talking about him and him not doing anything for the black community and that kind of thing deal, right?
Who, Katt?
It kind of goes to our Gatekeepers thing.
Katt or Umar?
And how this dude called him out, and then fucking M's one of those super celebrities, bro. So he's got people ready to jump out with the smoke. And Katt just literally responded to Umar with literally just facts. That's it. He didn't disparage this man. He didn't talk shit about him. He literally brought up charts and spreadsheets of a fucking charitable organization that Eminem runs, that he, owns essentially.
Right.
Eminem?
That operates out of Detroit. And he literally had a listing of stuff from 2011 to 2023 of things that money he has given to help the community there in Detroit. And that's all it was. Just literal information. I was just like jaw dropping, like, what the fuck, bro? And then now in the last day or so, because this happened a few days ago, from what Umar had said about him on the Joe Budden podcast, right? Now people are coming, actual people are coming out and saying stuff about it and defending him and shit like that. And it's just goes back to that thing where we were talking about gatekeepers and stuff. You got people who pretend that they're not doing that and would attack people with good intentions. And it's just so many people will just hang on all the words that they say and lip service and everything else. And it's hold on. Hold up, bro.
Yep.
You say you're for the community and this and that and this and that. Why are you attacking somebody who's trying to help?
Exactly.
Where are your motives, sir?
Where do you really stand? Because I think the beautiful thing that's happening right now, too, is the fact that there is so much footage over the years of Katt and, the position that he stands for and, the consistency in it, I think that's what's really powerful about this whole situation is there's just so much consistency in the things that he's saying, the things that he's pointing out. It's how can you really be mad at him? Anybody that is exposing really just honestly with cancel culture, we need to use cancel culture for the right things at this point. And so I'm kind of hoping that that's where this goes at the end of the day.
Right.
And that's kind of one of those good things, like you were saying with social media. Sorry to cut you off. Is that it's much harder to put out a narrative without someone that can respond, So if it is false, usually someone's going to call you on it.
Yeah.
Or prove it. I mean, that's the thing about it. There's a lot of accountability with social media if you're on the right side of it, because prove it. Because it can always we can pull from files at this point. We can get it verbatim what somebody said at this point. So let's prove it. Let's let's put it to the test. Like, let's stop being all talk and like basically let's pull out the taxes. Let's see what the proof is. Let's see what's really going on.
The receipts,
you know,
as they say.
Like you said, it's all lip service, but what's really going on? And I love that it's trending right now. That it's a conversation that we need to just do better as a whole and like focus on topics that actually matter.
Yeah, and that's like what Katt was saying when he said, "It's God's side and the other side. That's it, right?" And I appreciated that because if you're on the side of God, then you are on the side of truth and honesty. And all that other BS, we just gonna look at it like for what it is. It's BS.
Well, and it doesn't like the way that he said it. It doesn't ostracize anyone either,
right?
Because who my God is may not be your God. You know what I'm saying? And so, as long as you're on some type of like God's side, which is like the love, the light, the whatever is on the up and up, what keeps you kind at the end of the day, like. I love how he put that because it really it doesn't preach religion. It doesn't preach anything other than God's side or the other side. Like, where do you really stand? Are you on the light side or are you on the dark side? Which one is it?
Mm-hmm. And he elaborated more on that with the Willie D interview. What he said was that he read and you can read all of the religious scriptures out there. And at the end of the day, what he found and what he pulled from it, and it's just like I pulled from it, most of it's saying the same thing. It's trying to get you to be a better person. And I've told people, take God out the picture. Take what happens to you after death out the picture. How are you being a good person now? You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people worry about what God is going to do or how God's taking care of their life, what God's doing for them in their life. In my mind, I'm like, oh, that's all fine and dandy, but we live a human experience. I took that from Confucianism. Confucianism is like, don't worry about what the gods got going on. We got shit to worry about here on Earth. Right? And I take that very to heart. Like, we could worry about, what we're going to do or what we're going to be when heaven and hell. How's God doing this for us? And what's God doing for them? But at the end of the day, you still got to get up and do something for yourself. And then going from yourself for your family, from your family to your people. Those are the people that God really looks after, not the motherfucker that's worried about what God is doing for everybody else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it's an ancient concept though. It's like whatever you like, you reap what you sow, basically. So if you're gonna be out here in this lifetime just planting seeds that aren't going to amount to anything, that's going to continue in your bloodline and whoever is connected to you. Mm-hmm. And I mean,
sins of the father, or sins of the parent, anyway.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, sins of the father, fall back on the daughter. That's the old saying, but it's just one of those things that it's like you can clearly see at this point in 2024 who's been fighting spiritual battles for generations, whose family has been fighting spiritual battles for generations, because those people that are kind of like the families that are like at their wit's end that could really use a win are finally getting to breathe a little bit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, that spiritual warfare is coming to a head right now, and whatever's been going on in these families and these like in the shadows, it's coming out. Mm-hmm. All that stuff has been going on for generations, for centuries, since America was indoctrinated and all these things. Like, it's coming out. All of it is coming out, and so it's a master reset. Everything that's going on is just a master reset, and it's look, I am just here for the ride. I'm ready for it. So it's interesting. It's just interesting to like really like spectate.
So let me leave y'all with this nugget real quick though, since we are kind of talking about all this drama and everything that's happening. Going back to the Umar and Eminem thing I brought up earlier. So King Crooked, brought up that the subject, and he talked about that. But then he brought up another point, and he was like, and besides all this stuff going on with Umar and Eminem, we need to worry about something. We have much more important shit to worry about in hip hop right now. There's a really pressing issue going on right now that's, because of this, is being ignored. And obviously he's alluding to the Diddy situation.
Oh, yeah.
And again, that goes to the Epstein's list thing. and the gatekeeping thing, and him being one of those kind of guys in the industry. And it's like, yeah, like I said earlier, you know, Willie D had been sitting on that interview. Like, this is an old audio interview he had done apparently months ago. And so he just released the video footage now, obviously, you know, to kind of capitalize on the situation.
Yeah.
I mean, who wouldn't?
He's over 1 million views in 7 hours.
I'm sure they're making millions.
Man.
Yeah. But, like, it's kind of like, hold on. Cookie brought up a great point. This is a distraction. There's other really pressing shit going on in the world right now. And I appreciate Katt for airing out his grievances with these people because he feels the need to defend himself. But it's just kind of like, hey, yeah, there is shit going on, not just in the world, but if we're talking about us as Black people in the hip hop community, like, yo.
And see, that's where
this is kind of distracting us.
and you know, and this is where we have to kind of reel it in a little bit as, like, I guess commoners. Because, he is saying all of these things that may be factual, may be true, and we're like, hell yeah, let's support Katt. But at the end of the day, he's rubbing shoulders with these people. Yeah. He knows these people. He's in the rooms with these people. And yes, he's telling a lot of truth, but again, like, who knows what his agenda is? And and truly, in my heart, I do believe that he's being genuine or whatever. But he is a celebrity. Yep. He is. And his job is to entertain at the end of the day.
And that's the question Sam had.
Like we can't get too in the clouds about all this.
Sam was asking, is this all publicity? And I was like, of course it's publicity. Anytime cameras are around, it's publicity. But is he lying? Right? And that's what I like about the show that we have here, because we're not, like I was telling the Katt at work, we're not really attacking and commenting on the gossip and the beef and the drama. You know, we've asked each other, you know, is this comic funny? You know, we've asked that. Is there any credence to what Katt may be saying? We've asked those questions, but I like the fact that we're actually analyzing the overall, I guess the overall temperature that is created behind those questions. You know, like you said.
You know, there's some objectivity. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's obvious. Everyone has their own bias, right?
Right.
But it's on a person covering a subject to try to be as objective as possible. For me personally, I can't speak for anyone else, but for me personally, if you're covering a subject, if you want to have any kind of real legitimacy, or if I want to take you serious as a commentator, it would lend to your credibility if you try to be as objective as possible. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Being able to look at it from multiple points of view and just make yourself neutral. Look at both points of view.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's important.
And all we've done is look at the facts, and I love that.
Yeah.
And the fact that going back, like I said, I wanted to talk about his relationship with God. I love the fact that he said he wanted to be God's friend.
That's actually pretty awesome. I'm not like a God-fearing person myself. Mm-hmm. That is pretty awesome to say that.
I can relate to that because, you know, if you read the Bible, one of the things that is stressed throughout the whole Bible, from Old Testament to New Testament, take care of the orphans and women. Katt adopted 7 children.
And he's doing exactly that, you know. Mm-hmm. I mean, we don't have to get into the whole God and Bible talk. Like, we don't have to go there right now. We could have a whole other episode for that. But,
but even without that, like, the women and children should be protected.
If that's where you hold the value and that's where you create the good in the world, okay, good. Like, who can say anything bad about it? Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah.
And I commend him for that. I mean, just to adopt 7 kids.
On your life. Some people will put that in the bottle. You know what I'm saying? And they just live by that. So it's just, you know, it is what it is. However he decides to really manifest for future generations is what's important. And honestly, it goes to show where his intentions have been. It doesn't really matter if that's where it came from, if he got that from the Bible. I mean, he talks about how he grew up in the church and, you know, all that type of stuff. But
Jehovah's Witness.
Yeah, he went away. And he went away from the church. He went away from the church and found God. That's crazy.
Yeah, like there's really just no way to really process where he gets his philosophy, like what it really stems from, and like what drives him every day. Because he left home because he didn't want to be churchy. So it's just interesting. You know, he's kind of like a.
I think, you know, and I'm just kind of judging from kind of other people's commentary on it, and the stuff he said. It seems Katt had at an early age, had an idea of kind of like a life he wanted to lead. Mm-hmm. And, you know, we know about Jehovah's Witnesses and how strict that kind of lifestyle is, especially if, you know, you're just like a regular people, like person. Like, for instance, like,
almost like Scientology.
You know, Michael Jackson was, you know, well-known Jehovah's Witness, right?
Right.
But obviously, the way he was raised went against that lifestyle.
It was also well known.
So there's this kind of I can't think of a word I want to say there, but there's a divisiveness there. But I think in Katt's situation, it was different, where it's like you don't have someone that's the breadwinner also trying to be famous. It sounded like his family was just religious to be religious, you know?
Yeah.
Unlike the Jackson family, where it's like, well, you know, the father is like a musician / promoter, and he's got this large family, and all these kids are talented, and so he sees a way to get them off the streets, basically, you know, because Gary is not a nice place to stay. It never has been,
even to this day.
It's a rough city, and so there's definitely that dichotomy there with them. But in Katt's situation, they apparently they're in Dayton, Ohio, and from his own admission, there's a lot of money in that city. You know, you don't you can live well there. Yeah. So
he said essentially it's whatever you make it.
Yeah. So I mean, there's not the same situation like with, you know, the Jackson family, where it's like, okay, they got to find a way to get up out of this poverty.
Yeah.
Right.
Factory or poverty.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure in that situation, you know, you have this hyper religious family, and they're like, no, we don't need to live a certain way that's against our beliefs, because we don't have need for, you know, those vices and, you know, fame and all the other nonsense and all that other stuff. But Katt seems like he's a fairly intelligent dude and kind of wants to live life in his own terms. And, you know, when you're that fiercely independent at a young age, that'll cause you to be at odds with your family. Des, you know about that. I know about that. And you know, yeah, you know, that could be a thing. You know, you're going to come in odds with your parents because of that. So it is interesting to hear him kind of speak on that. And he didn't go like really deep into it, and I'm sure there's some other stuff there that he doesn't want to speak on. But
has to be.
Yeah, man.
There's people like that. I would love to just sit with them and just talk with them. Like no cameras, no recordings, just you know, because you Hook, me, you've talked, and Ray, as you'll get to know me more and more, you'll see like we can talk, and honestly, a lot of stuff I do forget, but I remember the important stuff, and it's like it never comes out, right? And that's like the kind of conversation I would like to have with Katt, because he seems like that type of person. There's a lot of people like DMX was one of those I would have loved to talk to, you know.
I'm kind of on the skeptical side now, like now that door was open, because yeah, sure, okay, like that was a start. Okay, great. But at the end of the day, what was causing you to go into those casting rooms? Like, what was that driving force? You know what I'm saying? Because it's not the same as like being discovered. You know what I'm saying? Like you were seeking to be seen.
Yeah.
I would like to know what that like driving force was for him to go against the grain for so long and seem to have like such a confident idea of who he was and wanted to be. Like, what was that driving force? Like, did he end up who he thought that he would be? You know, like, like what was the evolution behind it all?
I think he may have spoken on that a little bit, where he mentioned how, you know, regardless of what any comedian will say, the goal is always to kind of be, you know, a celebrity, you know, be a movie star, have a TV show, that kind of thing. That's always the goal. Right. There's very few people who get into stand-up and just stay in stand-up. That's it. And I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, yeah, that's pretty much true. Most guys are doing it until they get a big break, whether it be a movie or a show or radio or whatever. You want to do something that is a little bit more stable, and
I hate to interject,
more,
Hook, on that point.
Funds at the end of the day.
On that point, Hook, I was thinking about it earlier too. Think about the recent slew of actors that have become like popular. Either they're action stars, or they're like comedians who are able to cross over and be that multifaceted actor, or just funny characters. Not necessarily comedians, but funny actors. You know, actors who started out in comedies, that type deal.
It happens, and you know, Hollywood will pick people sometimes and give them their shots. I think, for instance, and I've never thought she was crazy funny, but I thought she was all right. Amy Schumer. She had a run for a little bit, right, where she was like in a bunch of shit.
But she couldn't do the serious acting. That was her only.
She was getting all this press, and then I remember thinking at the time, like, why is she the it girl right now? She ain't that damn funny. I mean, she's alright. I felt it was weird at the time, and then sure enough, you know, things don't pan out like the powers that be want with her. And she got pregnant. Disappears.
She got pregnant.
Well, no. Let's go back, because I don't know where she came from, but I do know that she got married, and her husband was diagnosed with Asperger's, and like basically she just became a wife and a mom.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
She had a baby.
It's a little bit more fair.
Yeah, like, but that's the last we heard of her. I mean, that's kind of a common thing in the industry, especially if a woman has a baby and she's not willing to let somebody else raise her kids. You know.
Okay, now that's a little bit more fair. So I didn't know that. So
yeah, because I remember she had the baby, and
so that's one of those things.
She's a stand-up comedian. Like I've seen her stuff before, like when she was just doing stand-up.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know she did stand-up. So
yeah,
it's interesting. Yeah, I just want to know what that driving force is, because as a comedian, like being in comedy is a little bit more raw than like say just wanting to be an actress or just wanting to just do something like that. Like, it's a little bit more raw, it's a little bit more truth behind it, it's a little bit more vulnerable. So like, what is that driving force? Like, because a lot of comedians never make it, but they still do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they'll still go to the comedy shows, they'll still show up just to get it off their chest, basically. Like, what's that driving force? And then when you do become a name or you do become popular, you know, like, how do you really navigate that and stay neutral without kind of getting caught up in some way? You know, like, because as much as Katt wants to sell to us that he hasn't got caught up or that he's always stayed on the straight and narrow or whatever the case may be, there's got to be something somewhere. Like, something somewhere. Because how did he learn? You only learn by making mistakes.
Well, to that, Ray, I was thinking about it earlier. Katt never really said he didn't participate in Illuminati dealings. Because think about what he said when Shannon asked him about the deal with Ludacris. He said, we were both invited to this Illuminati thing. We both took the deal, but only one had to get their hair cut. Now he did say that, but he did say he didn't have to do anything with his butthole or his mouth. So he's making the right deals.
He still got a deal somewhere. He still got a deal. It may not have been that particular one.
Exactly.
He still got a deal.
Exactly. That's how I feel about it anyway.
That's what I am talking about. Like, as much as, like, we're, you know, when we speak on distraction or whatever, I'm like, okay, let's explore that a little bit, because sure, maybe he didn't take that deal, but what deal did he take?
Just like he dropped the Chris Tucker bomb. Just like he dropped the Chris Tucker bombshell. And then the day after that, maybe the 2 days after that, when the Epstein list comes out, I scroll down. Guess whose name was on the Epstein list?
Bro, I was hurt. Michael and Chris. I was like, damn.
Not saying they did anything. Not saying they did anything. I'm just saying their name is on the list.
Yep. And the Michael one hurt me because I'm like, dude, Jesus, man. Yeah. This dude's been dead for how long?
Michael who?
Jackson. The king of pop.
I mean, that's not that surprising, honestly.
And like this dude didn't beat allegation after allegation. People didn't come out and said that they were lying and all this other shit. People come out and spoke on his behalf. And then boom. I'm just like, fuck.
I mean, that's not that surprising. Look how he grew up.
Yeah. Yeah. So like
he was a victim himself. Let's be real.
Absolutely.
The whole family was.
But back to the Katt thing, to be a devil's advocate for the point you made about what deal he maybe took.
He told us the deal
because
he's
been so adamant in his beliefs and the deals have been brought to him and he's like, well, I'd be willing to take a deal, but I want to change the terms. That's why he's always been attacked. That's why he's always had the issues with the law, even though, like he said, I've never been convicted. I've never been caught with drugs. I've always been clean. All this other shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe that's
be
just
under some type of veil of protection for sure. I definitely believe that. That's the thing. I definitely do. I do.
It's the fuck of his
credibility. Because if they don't want somebody to speak, what they do. So it's like,
it's either
he's so protected for real. It's got to be something.
It's either going to be character assassination. They're going to just outright kill you, or they're going to make you look crazy.
Yeah.
Which they've done all of the above. So, I mean, shit, I guess he needs to ramp up his bodyguard.
Try to ruin the credibility. But,
I don't know. I mean, I definitely support him. I'm not going to sit here and say that, like, I'm over here on the fence or anything. I'm just, just exploring that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it could be just like he said. What was the thing he said? Celebrities get paid to tell you what they're not.
Mm-hmm.
So, he could be just put out in plain sight to say all these things.
It's like he said he had a show that he was going to do with Spike Lee. And that show, and then they moved Spike Lee, had him do another show with another comedian or something to that effect. And that sparked my mind. I was like, Spike Lee. Huh. If y'all remember, he did a movie called Bamboozled.
Yes, sir. I remember that movie.
Now, what was Damon Wayans' role in Bamboozled?
If I remember right, he was like either a writer or a comedian.
And who placed him there?
And he had a set of beliefs at the beginning of the film.
Uh-huh.
He gets an offer.
Uh-huh.
And then as the film progresses, he kind of slowly goes against those beliefs to become successful.
And what did he do?
I didn't see the film, so I don't remember everything.
Man. So
I remember seeing bits and pieces.
He went to the hood and grabbed basically this tap dancing act and put them on TV. Made them this national thing. Right?
Okay.
But they could never negotiate their deal. The deal always went through Damon. Now, what that sound like?
That sounds like gatekeeping to me, brother.
Spike Lee told us about this about 20 years ago in the movie, and it clicked the other day when I rewatched the podcast when he said Spike Lee was supposed to do Katt Williams stuff, but he was basically reassigned. Is how I'm taking how Katt said it. And I got to thinking, I was like, he did do that movie Bamboozled. Spike Lee told us a long time ago that there's gatekeepers of this shit.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we've known that though. Like, I think Spike Lee just kind of made it present in the Black community, but we have definitely known that the gatekeeping was going on. That's how they designed this whole entire country.
Oh yeah.
I mean, come on, like it's based on gatekeeping.
I experienced it at work. Every job I've ever had, I've experienced it. You should hear the excuses I get when I ask to be a manager. I want to be trained to be a manager. Well, We got too many managers on staff right now. Okay. I've heard my tone. I've heard a lot of different wild shit. And I'm just like, okay. That's part of the reason that made me start to go into business myself.
Yeah.
Make myself a gatekeeper and open the gates. We're gonna open these
There you go, man.
We're gonna kick these motherfuckers
open. Well, that would be the point, yeah. There's a I don't know if you guys know who Jessie Ray is, but she's a singer.
Uh-huh.
And she has a song called Gatekeeping, and it talks about it very vividly too.
Yeah, because she's a good artist that, according to Eminem about 3 years ago, should have been blown, which is why she was all over the Kamikaze album.
Yeah, she's gone against the grain in a major way. She hasn't seemingly sold out.
Mm-hmm. But that just speaks to it, like you said on the first part. There's a lot of talent out there, untapped, majorly. That's better than what they put out there.
Oh yeah, and I mean, just there's a lot of stuff like, as far as like the rap community goes, like you see the argument, ghostwriters and people biting and all this other stuff. Remember the whole Drake controversy with the whole Quentin Miller thing and running through the 6 and all that. Yeah. It's just kind of like there's definitely artists that will have records or songwriting and won't get discovered because someone bigger than them won't put them on, or they get promised things and they never get delivered on. I mean, hell, I remember a time when Keisha Cole started, releasing records and stuff, and people were getting on her case because she was just putting out so much information like, yo, I wrote this, I did this, and people were getting upset with her because she was talking so much shit. But it's like, yo, I've been in the industry for years writing for people and have not gotten any credit for this.
Yeah.
But yet I'm supposed to stay silent? No, I'm really fucking talented, and I want everyone to know that.
Right. I mean, because you work so hard at something like this, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
To be a creative of any sort, whether it's just in entrepreneurship or whatever the case may be, just being a creator in general is just one of the things that it needs to be respected, and if you're not getting that respect, then you need to demand it. And I think that's what people have been scared of doing for a long time, and rightfully so. I mean, I've fallen victim to that to some degree too, but it's necessary. Like, you have to demand that respect, otherwise you don't get it. That's really a basic concept across life.
Yeah. What was it? Rick Ross said a similar thing. He was on a podcast with Lil Wayne, and Wayne brought up the fact that he knew for a fact that Ross has written shit for tons of people. And he was saying, like, himself and Ross have done that kind of work for people, and they'll never let you know what artists they've written for. And he was saying Ross especially. And Ross has been around for years, like, especially like in the Florida scene. A lot of them guys he's worked with and penned shit for. You never know who it is. You never know what song it is. But he's been around, And it's just interesting that, again, the gatekeeper thing. Sometimes people like that, they're underappreciated, or they just flat out probably aren't really paid like they should.
Welcome, Mike.
So, here we go. What's good, brother?
What it do? Hold on.
This guy jumps on and puts on some pause. But yeah, the shit's crazy. And
yeah, man, it's just
same thing like with the NBA. Look at the NBA. LeBron is a gatekeeper. Let's be real about that. Absolutely. Whoever's on LeBron's squad goes up.
He definitely, as the face of the league, he definitely is there to kind of keep a certain image of the league intact.
You think he's not gonna help make decisions once he's done?
Huh?
You think he's not gonna help make decisions once he's done?
I can barely hear you, bro. Say again.
You think he's not gonna help make decisions once he's done?
Oh no, he absolutely will. There's no way Adam Silver doesn't keep him at some kind of head position in the league. I just don't see it. I mean, LeBron is his own brand, of course. You know, he's going to be a figure like a Jordan, but I just absolutely don't see him being involved in the league, especially with him trying to get his son into the league and saying, "I'm not going to retire until I'm able to play with him in a professional game." Yeah, no fucking way. He's not involved in league decisions, especially once that happens.
It's his whole life. It's like working for a company for like 35 years and then volunteering once you're retired. Like he's that's been his life for over
since high school.
Exactly. And he's like the only player really to ever really have a career like that in particular. Like I just remember he was one of the last players or one of the first players to go straight from high school. I don't remember.
He's one of the last. He's one of the last.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think after his draft class, the NBA went back to requiring at least 2 years of college, which is better for a player's longevity in their health in general. Because not everyone is a freak of nature like LeBron, and playing at that high level from that young age when your body hasn't fully developed can be detrimental to you later on. So.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, but it's just significant, you know what I'm saying? That he holds that position, you know, like he's like the token. He's the token. He's the golden child. It worked out, you know, like he's the last one, and let's show the world why we accepted him last. You know, like of course they're gonna make it look good.
Like they say, he won the genetic lottery, but he put in the work, so I can't deny that either.
Yeah, he did.
But
we definitely can't take that from him, but he's gonna be involved. He's definitely.
And the topic of gatekeepers, Taraji sounds a lot like Monique right now. I don't know if y'all noticed that one.
I haven't seen the interview.
For a long time.
I haven't seen the interview with Taraji, but with Katt speaking on it, and then the parallels to Monique and her rant years ago. And, Monique kind of speaking on it, and then people thinking, like, disparaging her and being like, well, you're not in that position to make those kind of demands, you know. Right. But here it is years later, and it's like, well, Taraji is. And you would think someone like that, who has been working as consistently as she has, would be lauded. Like, there's no way she's not getting paid.
I hear you. My question is, and it's a very simple question I've asked everybody when it comes to Taraji. Taraji P. Henson or Viola Davis?
I mean, I would pick Viola over her, personally.
Ray, hold on, Ray.
But I also know that, I don't know if Viola's spoken on it, but I know for a fact that she's fought incredibly hard to get as many roles as she's gotten.
She has been a trailblazer for people like Taraji at the end of the day. I mean, I think that's not really something that you can choose. It's very objective. And there's just not enough lanes, like for Black women in general, to sit there and put them against each other. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a fucking stupid conversation. Like, how come she's not getting paid? Period. Like, why would she have to do free work? Like, that's just, it's simple.
And and that's really across the board in entertainment. So like, I watch a lot of wrestling, right? And that is a very large topic of discussion.
Oh yeah.
With Black talent in that space, especially Black women.
Well, in wrestling, there's like very few.
Hello?
Mike, you back?
Yeah, I'm back, man. My bad. I'm busy over here and shit, and Spools just pulled up.
Already.
Bet. Join the combo.
What y'all talking about?
Oh, we talking about Taraji right now.
Taraji.
Oh, okay. How she's not getting paid by Oprah? She didn't get that money, right?
Yeah. And I was
just
in
asking, general, all the roles that she hasn't really gotten paid for, and the fact that she just kept quiet.
Really, that's really like a whole bunch of Hollywood people, like a lot of actors and stuff that's not getting paid. It's like really, it's the motherfuckers that do all that extra stuff behind scenes and sign them contracts, certain contracts. They get paid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I did see that she said she has a lot of people to pay to help, keep her brand going, which I understand. And it's like, at that point, to me, it's like that's the cost of business. Like maybe they're paying her a good amount. We just really, really don't know. But like she said, she's a brand upon herself, so she got to support all these people too. So that amount to us, maybe maybe to another actor might be a great amount, but they don't have they don't have as many people on her brand on her brand. Like I seen an article they had talked to Vivica Fox earlier. On TMZ, and they asked her about the situation. She said she don't know specifically what's going on with Taraji's situation, but she's always been paid well. So,
Yeah.
I mean, but you have to go back to Taraji's story from the beginning too, and the fact of the matter is like how Hollywood exploits people that are that once started as starving actors. Taraji moved to LA with her son, just her and her son, and imagine how hard she has to work to get to where she is at now, and when you're in a survival mode for so long and somebody's preying on that and they're keeping you in a survival mode, that's just what it is.
Yeah.
And the industry preys on that. They don't want you to know your worth. They don't want you to know you're good. They'll do everything. They'll keep you from getting awards for your whole career. They'll let you die in some cases before they give you honor to keep you in that survival mode, to keep you hungry so they can keep exploiting you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I definitely feel her where she comes from on this particular movie. When it comes from the the pinnacle of black woman empowerment, Oprah, like that's got a sting. Like you would expect her to look after y'all like she does on TV, right?
But she doesn't do that on TV though.
That's how she made her brand though, wasn't it?
What'd you say?
That's how Oprah made her brand though, wasn't it? Taking care of women and empowering women all across the world on TV?
Nah, bro.
Black women. No, it was
Oprah made her brand. Oprah made her brand because she took them deals long ago, bro.
Long ago, from the white man.
Yeah.
She is forever indoctrinated to the white man.
Yeah, but she started out on radio and then they put her on TV.
Yeah.
We I think one of you might have shared it or I might have seen it somewhere. With all this discourse going on. It was a clip of Dave on Oprah. Remember when he got back from Africa and he kind of did a press run?
He was mad at Oprah.
And he was on Oprah.
Yeah, go ahead.
And
he was on Hollywood.
There's a part of the interview where she kind of challenges the idea that he isn't crazy, and you see his demeanor change in an interview. It gets very guarded after that.
I want to go watch that.
Yeah.
That's the one where he was talking about Martin. He was saying something like maybe these people aren't sick, maybe the environment's sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I seen that one. That one came out like what, 2008 maybe?
Yeah. He spoke on the. He also spoke on that same thing on the Inside the Actors Studio, and that's not really an interview. That's really just him speaking.
Yeah.
But the Oprah interview, he kind of goes over the same kind of stuff, man. And she's not attacking him outright, but she is challenging his way of speaking on the matter, and it's just kind of like, you don't think about it at the time, but, with hindsight, it's like, oh, wait a minute.
She doing damage control?
You know, who sent you? You know,
right?
That's true.
So that's how I felt during the whole vaccine thing.
Go ahead.
That's how I felt during the whole vaccine thing. It seemed like every celebrity that you can obviously tell is part of this whole cabal is the new word of the century, I guess, new word of the year. This whole cabal, this whole thing, this whole conspiracy. Every one of them is telling you're a villain. You should be jailed if you don't take this vaccine. Really? Jailed? Really?
Right. Like, is it that deep?
So you think that wouldn't like help the virus, whatever it is, like super evolved then? Like you got all these people who are unvaccinated together in one spot? You think there wouldn't be like a super bug that evolves from that? Like, come on, man. So smart, they come back right around to being dumb. Can't believe it.
Yeah, it's just this whole industry thing. I mean, the credibility of Oprah. I mean, if we go back to like being objective and stuff like that, when it comes to being a reporter, a journalist, and things like that, like it's just you really just want to start picking all of it apart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did y'all already talk about how Oprah was involved with that stuff in Africa, the human trafficking and all that?
No, Oprah just came.
No, but I will say, in that same video I was watching, people were talking about the Hawaii shit that you had mentioned a while ago, Mike. With Oprah.
Oh yeah.
And how she's flying out. Why don't you talk about it, Mike? Because we talked about it a while ago, but it wasn't on the podcast.
So, Oprah had bought like a whole bunch of acres out there in Maui, like for dirt cheap, like cheap. And then all that shit happened with the wildfire, the quote unquote wildfires. But houses that didn't get damaged, they all coincidentally had blue roofs. You know what I'm saying? Oprah could have saved a lot of people by just letting them on her property, but she had like security stopping people from coming on there and all that stuff. So yeah, she's crooked.
Yeah, we haven't been on that point for a minute, but.
Yep, and then like all those missing kids that went missing in Maui, and like I remember I seen this one interview with her on her show or something like that, and she was talking about grooming children and all that. I'll find the video and send it to y'all. But yeah, it's just wild.
Man, is Maui anywhere near Epstein Island? Is Maui anywhere near Epstein Island? Y'all hear me? Is Maui anywhere near Epstein Island?
What?
I can't hear you.
Not at all.
Is Maui anywhere near Epstein Island?
Is it by Epstein Island?
No, I don't think so.
No, but Maui is an island, just like Epstein Island. So,
well, but think about like I don't know if y'all know like the different islands of like how there's different islands in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Like, you can only go to 2 of them, and there's like 6 or 7 of them.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of like land and space there, as far as that's not really occupied.
Yeah, I mean, there's 2 that are allowed. Like, if there's a main island, and then there's the like where Honolulu and stuff is, and then there's one that's like completely military. But then there's a whole bunch of other islands that nobody is allowed to go to, and they're protected. And I mean, there's too much opportunity. But like, we could talk about that part forever. There's land that I'm sure that we don't know about.
Absolutely,
yeah. Epstein Island was there. I mean, we don't even know what's happening there now.
Man,
absolutely.
Like, did y'all see the list?
There's too much opportunity when you have all that money.
Shit, I heard. I read somewhere that Mark Zuckerberg just bought some land out there too in Hawaii, and he's doing like a bunker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard about this.
Yeah,
I heard about the bunker too.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard about this, and people were like, "Why is he building a bunker?" And I saw people talking about it. It's like, bro, if you had all that money and you knew about all this wild, crooked shit going on in the world, wouldn't you build a bunker to protect yourself?
Why wouldn't you build a bunker?
Yeah, absolutely. Shit, I want my damn self.
I watched Jason. I watched Jason.
And if
Whitlock.
I think about it, I'm like, Mark Zuckerberg is like a legit self-made billionaire. Like, not come from nothing, but this guy didn't have a lot of money. Yeah. This isn't one of those guys that got a grant because his family was rich and started a successful business. No, this guy was a college student who got rich because of Silicon Valley. He's probably
stressed as fuck.
Oh yeah. I can't think about the amount of shit this guy's probably learned now becoming rich. Or extremely wealthy, I should say.
Just purely get it because of that title.
Yeah.
I watched Jason.
Yeah,
Whitlock.
especially at that level of richness, man. Like, he's up there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the point Jason Whitlock was making. He was like, he's in these circles now. He knows that the people behind these buttons that control these weapons of mass destruction, they're not particularly smart. So at any moment, these not particularly smart people could have a moment, and boom.
Yeah, that easy.
Were we talking about that?
I think we briefly spoke on it. I don't think we really covered it, but I think we briefly spoke on it before.
Yeah. But yeah, did y'all see the Epstein list?
I wanted to get back to the Ali Sadiq thing real quick.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. We got like 9 minutes.
And Katt mentioning that on Willie D's pod and just his view on it. And I was seeing a lot of people kind of arguing his argument. Like, hold on, how did he pay this dude? He says he didn't know him. Blah 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 blah. And then people arguing the point for Katt. Like, hey, we've heard all these stories of him paying people, and just kind of the back and forth, the discourse. Like, oh, he wants to fight all these people, but he won't fight Ali Sadiq. But then, as he says in the pod, it's like, yeah, if he was on my level of celebrity, yeah, I would do that because we're getting paid at the end of the day. But you got to hold up your end of the deal, bro.
Yeah.
This ain't gonna just be a come up. This ain't gonna just be a come up for you. We both gonna be, benefiting from this.
That makes sense.
And
I haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah, I put it in the chat.
Like I'm gonna just put you on, and I'm the star here. I'm like, it's like any kind of actual boxing match,
Right.
Like I'm the guy here, bro. You're not up here, so no, I'm not taking this fight. Just cause. Like, we're not gonna do that. Now I'm sure if they had real beef, it'd be a different thing. But this is just comedy. At the end of the day.
Yeah.
So they're supposed to be boxing each other, or what?
No, they're not. So I guess from what Katt was saying and what Ali has said is that Katt did a show in Ali's hometown, and he was explaining a situation where you have comedians that are like local, and so they'll get booked for shows whenever a big event happens because local clubs will book them. You're like, okay, they'll open for a bigger act. And I guess there was a misunderstanding where Ali, gets word of Katt coming into town, asks the club owner to book him for a show because he had already been performing at that club, and like, hey, but Katt was explaining, like, when I go on tour, whoever I'm bringing with me on tour, that's who I perform with. There is no bringing someone in and booking them just because the club owner. We don't do that. I don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
So, and meaning no offense to Ali, he's like, bro, I just don't get down like that. And the way Katt handled it was, well, I guess he was like, well, this guy obviously thought he was going to get booked and was promised he'd get paid. And instead of me just being a whole asshole about it, I cut him a check, you know, and that's how I handle it. So just to diffuse the situation. So, like, why are you still mad about the situation? And I didn't see the Ali interview, but from my understanding, he's saying that, you know, Katt had him removed from the building.
Yeah. No, because, I don't think it was an interview.
I guess there was some kind of altercation or disagreement or something.
I think it was a stand-up special he did.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I think it was a stand-up special he did. It wasn't an interview. I remember seeing it and him talking about it.
He talked about it in the special, but he also talked about it on Willie D's podcast.
No, I'm talking about
which is why Willie D was kind of standing up for him when he was asking Katt about it.
I gotta watch that podcast then.
Yeah.
I like Ali Sadiq. Katt said he liked him too. Shit.
Yeah.
I guess there's not enough information about like what actually happened to really make a judgment on that, because it's like, okay, Katt really cut him a check. Okay, cool. So then what? What is the issue?
Right.
Three sides.
Mm-hmm.
His side, and the truth.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Real quick here, Epstein list. Did y'all read the names on there?
I saw a few. I didn't check out all of them. I was just kind of glancing. The first one, obviously, I think it was like right at the top of the list was Chris Tucker. I was like, damn, okay. And then I tried to go down. I saw MJ. I saw Trump.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of made me laugh because, man, these Trumpers have been going hard on fucking X defending him. And it's just like, bro, his name's right there. Yeah.
How can anybody still defend that man? Like, there's somebody in my neighborhood that put up, Mike, you probably see it too, because you drive by there a lot, but they put up a Trump flag, and then now they put up a Biden flag. Like, they're going hard right now.
Damn.
Oh, yeah.
I saw Prince George on there.
I ain't seen the updated list or none of that, but I heard it's like 3 pages long.
It's like 3 pages. And it's got a lot of notable names.
Pull it up right now.
Shit, what's gonna happen though? Ain't shit gonna happen to these motherfuckers, man?
No,
they don't know. They don't know who's
it's getting brought up in court right now, but I mean, unless they're gonna convict these people, like you said, what does it matter? Just
like they got money.
So we know, I guess. Yeah.
Money runs the game that they're playing. So.
Well, they don't know who's done what. They just know names on the list right now. But if they was all black, you guarantee. If they was all black, you guarantee they would ask one of them motherfuckers be going down right now.
It's not really. It's not something that anybody would ever speak on. So the list isn't really matter. It's already done. They're probably still doing it. If they aren't still doing it, they already ate all the evidence. Because I don't know. The whole thing is weird, and none of it is surprising. Honestly, I don't know. I'm just the only one that's like not surprised. But I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm like, shit. I feel like this list came out like years ago.
Yeah, like that's surprising.
Yeah, there's definitely some names where it's just like, okay, I've heard rumors about this person or rumors about that person. There's definitely a lot of that going on. So. Mm-hmm.
I didn't see Diddy's name on the list, though.
Unless this trial that's going on, unless they're going to convict people.
I didn't see Diddy's name on the. I didn't see Diddy's name on the list, which I thought was interesting.
The video?
I don't think he's on that Epstein list, but I mean, he's got his own problems going on right now.
He got his own island, man. Shit, Diddy.
Shit, no.
He got an island somewhere in New York. That's what he be doing.
Man, we got like 50 seconds left.
Yeah.
We got like 50 seconds left. Y'all want to go ahead and sign off real quick?
For sure.
Who's going to start it off? Man, we got like 50. It's your boy Dez. That was part 3. We carried on to some new topics. We will catch y'all next time. Well, we got the barefooted collector. We got Xavier versus Black Man. We got Rayanne. We Reinvigorate Services. We will catch y'all on the next episode.
Record now. Okay.
Want to follow the conversation? Check us out on Facebook. Want to talk about it? We got group chats. We got group discussions. We got all kind of topics. If you're interested, you want to be part of the conversation. Again, you know where to find us. Facebook. Want to talk about it with your boy Dez and the crew.
Bong bong.
Done.
Mm.